Hi. So the first question that is asked is about my personal journey and what key experience shaped who you are today. I I was always very reactive to people who had a very judgmental approach towards less fortunate. I always knew that I had an empathetic side to me who was never afraid to speak up for the people who were less fortunate, be it physically, be it socially, or be it even physically, or even mental strength. For somebody who was not able to speak, maybe an introvert, maybe somebody who could not defend themselves for any reason, I used to always speak up, and I still do in many situations. So I'm not surprised that I ended up working with kids with neurodiversity or traumas. I knew that that was a natural inclination for me to work with people who needed somebody to speak up for them. When I turned 24, I realized that I cannot be working into finance. I could not be working in any other job where I was not involved practically with people, and especially somehow solving things which were not easily accessible to people simply by just reading books. I somehow knew that I had to go into natural sciences. I had to go into going into a field where I could question, I could research. Maybe not, especially not research in the way that normally mainstream researchers do in today's world. I had to do it practically. So I think one of the second reason is that. Third reason, I hit depression at the age of probably around 26, when I think the world that I knew, where I had to only sustain through earning money, collapsed when there was recession. I started questioning, is my existence only there for 9 to 5 jobs? Am I just supposed to walk in line with the rules of 9 to 5? Or was my role as a human, as this human birth, is far more than what I expect myself to be in? I always had this intriguing part of me which wanted to work with human sciences, wanted to work with things that people have never tried. Or maybe it was almost like there were dark areas that nobody wanted to jump in because nobody cared. Fourth, we had a couple of examples in our family itself where people had brain traumas in childhood and no help was ever given to them. There was no, I would say, there was no studies that could relate to neurodivergent children. When it came down to even today's medical theories, you'd always hear that there's not much that we can do apart from physical physios and things like that, which I knew that there was something more than what the world has declared in today's world about neurodivergent kids. I had seen them from childhood growing up without any support. There was no care. There was only the care of the mother. There was no involvement of the society, neither there was any involvement of the doctors, whether it was alternate therapies or whether it was the Western therapies or Western medicines. And that's when I started doing my soul search. I came to India in 2010. I started doing my yoga sciences, and I started studying yoga. I started doing a 200 hours course with SVSF, and that's when I learned the finer details of working in yoga and what a human body is capable of. And that intrigued me to know more and more, and how I could study and be practical about what we can actually achieve. And the more I learned, the more I implemented, I was amazed at how much these kids are capable of, how much of a brain is capable of to heal. I was amazed at the replies that the universe gave me. One after the other, the doors just opened. I met people who supported me, who helped me to move on with the journey. And that's when I started traveling in India and moving from one ashram to another. I met some beautiful souls who told me the truth of the universe at certain level, and then I had to do my own journey. But this was amazing. This is how I think this is how it has shaped me today, to always be intrigued and never accept the limitations and never accept the word impossible when it comes down to any theory about the sciences of the body, because our brain can heal by itself. It is like a restart button which is there in our brain. We just should know how to trigger it in the right way. We should know how to self-manifest for the patients that you are curing, or you are taking them under your wings. We should know how to manifest their reality.